Hola, hola. Today is day 4 of my 30-day live challenge, where I am taking the advice of someone who's coached me to practice speaking in front of camera to improve my verbal communication, kind of public speaking, also just doing better at connecting what I say to what I'm thinking. And the advice was go live for 30 days in a row and get better with practice. So this is day 4. And I want to chime in today. We've been doing a lot of sales training. And the issue of handling objections has kind of been the topic of conversation for this training and for some of the playbooks that we're working on. And I want to address it from the standpoint of handling objections. Like, a lot of salespeople sometimes feel like they don't want to be pushy, which I don't want sales teams to be pushy either, like in a rude way. But they don't want to be pushy, and so salespeople oftentimes end up being too nice to their prospects, frankly. And I've in some of the training today, I was talking about the fact that being too nice is actually, you're not helping your prospects by doing that. And here's what I mean by that. In my view, sales is all about change. Every sale, whether you're selling shoes to somebody to help them run faster, or you're selling marketing services to help them get more leads, or you're selling business coaching to help them build a better business. All sales, all prospects want to achieve something. They're at some current state they want to change, and they're looking for a product that will help them do it. So if you're selling the marketing services, you are helping them achieve the transformation that they want to achieve. So if, I guess, now this the prerequisite for everything that I say about objections, if your company actually delivers on helping your prospects achieve that transformation. So I'm an entrepreneur, you're selling business coaching, and I'm struggling right now to build an organized business that I love and want to work in. If your coaching program can actually contribute to that transformation, then you are not helping me if you're too nice when it comes to handling objections when it gets to the end of your sales presentation. So as an example, I sit down, I listen to a call, using the business coaching example. I listen to a call from a salesperson, and I get to the end of that call as a prospect, and I'm close to bought in, but I'm not all the way bought in. And I say, just let me think about it. And it's really easy from a salesperson's perspective to not want to push or not want to challenge a prospect when they say something like that. And in my view, if you don't respectfully challenge somebody's way of thinking, what you inevitably do is kind of, you're not helping them achieve the transformation that they want. Like, they came to you for business coaching. They probably have some challenges. They're probably overwhelmed. They're probably, doing 17 things instead of one, and they're looking for help. And they step out of that whirlwind of their business and sit through a demo or sit through a sales presentation of a company that can actually help them achieve it. But they get to the end and they're just, okay, well, let me think about it. Well, what inevitably happens is that prospect, more often than not, is going to go back into the vortex, back into the whirlwind that is their business, and they're going to get overwhelmed. Even if they're well intended, they're probably not going to think about it too much. They're going to get caught up doing what got them into the current state that they were in the first place. So when we were doing training today, one of the things I pushed back on is, we have an obligation as salespeople to respectfully challenge and try to get our prospects to take action if the product that we're selling is really that good. And this was when this dawned on me, it changed the way that I look at sales. It changed the way that I look at sales techniques or sales tactics, because most of the things that I might think, if I didn't believe in my product, then I just feel like I was being shady. I feel like I'm just selling you. But when you look at it that way, you're not just selling your prospect, you're coaching your prospect. And when you think about what coaching is about challenging people to do better. It's about challenging people to change their behavior. It's about helping them hold themselves accountable. It's about oftentimes saying what the nice guy isn't going to say. Some of the best coaches that I've worked with are incredibly candid. They will call you out on behavior if it's not in your best interest. They will push back. They will challenge, and and they do it in such a way that it resonates and that it actually has an impact. And then when you change that behavior, you go, gosh, I'm really glad that happened. I'm really glad that they pushed me on that. But if the coach is just worried about being nice or just worried about being really, really polite, like chances are they're not going to have the same impact as a coach that's going to call you out, call a spade, hold you accountable. I look at sales in the same way. Again, so long the prerequisite here is so long as you're selling something that positively helps somebody achieve the transformation that they want. In that case, I put myself in the shoes of a coach, and I respectfully push back. And I say, I mean, I train people to say, completely understand. Let me tell you what usually happens when entrepreneurs say they're going to think about it, even if they're really well intended. What usually happens is they get back into their business. They start doing the 17 jobs that they do because they're early stage entrepreneur. They get caught up into the mix, and weeks and months and sometimes even years go by, and they haven't made the changes that really need to happen. And that's what we're talking about today. And when you respectfully push back and challenge, it really, the prospect starts to think through, and you call it out and you're candid. And the prospect really starts to feel like they're being and if you can help hold them accountable, if you can help them make a good decision that's going to be in their best interest, then they're going to take your product or your service. They're going to experience the transformation that you sold them, and they're going to be thankful for you. Now, this whole thing falls apart if you're selling a pile of shit. Like if your value prop is weak, if your product is really shitty, if you don't contribute to the transformation that you promise, then you're just a sleazy salesperson. But if you're selling something good, I challenge you to just rethink how overcoming objections or how respectfully challenging prospects really is, instead of looking at it as I'm pushing somebody to do something that they don't want. Think about it as I'm coaching somebody to take action to improve them and helping hold them accountable. So, top of mind today, and that's all I got. I'll check out. Thanks for joining me on day 4. Have a good one.